Right
No
now,
worries.
waiting in the wings, I'm joined by Mia Wray, who's a Melbourne-based female singer-songwriter. Nice to have you on my program. How are we today?
I'm so good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Right, I just wanted to get you on to talk to you about your new single called "Ghost in My Machine."
Yeah, I wrote that with Gabrielle Aplin, Seton Dawn, and Ash Howes, and we had already collaborated together for the first record, and actually I think it was the first single of my debut album was called "Tell Her," which is a song that we wrote together, and then we just got on really well and collaborated really well together. So we decided to get in the room again. And then we ended up with Ghost in My Machine, and now it's out.
Perfect time of the year to release it with Halloween, Ghost.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's so fun.
And it's been described as intoxicating as well.
Who said that?
Oh gosh, where did I read that now? It was one of the reviews that I read somewhere on the internet.
Oh, I love that.
Because intoxicating, that means like drawing the listener in, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Oh, well, that's a great review.
Cool. So with Ghost in My Machine, is this one of your most self-discoverable records you have made?
Um, I think like at the time, I was really with what the song is about and like sexual awakening and like that's the whole theme of the first record. I was kind of going through it all as the songs were being written, so there wasn't a lot of time to like process it. So I think a part of me just got swept up in the making of it all and not really fully reflecting on the actual sound, and is that the Mia Ray sound, and does this reflect me, and what I'm like live, and stuff like that. So I think the story and the songwriting of it certainly reflects me, but from a production point of view, I think I'm still kind of learning and circling um, in on a sound that reflects me 100%.
Yeah, that's very fair enough. Ghost in My Machine as well. Was this track recorded in the UK?
Yeah, we did. So there was the original Ghost in My Machine that was released without Gabby's voice on it, which was just mine. And then I had a version on my phone with Gabby's voice on it from the songwriting demo, and it just sounded really great. And I think when we decided to re-release it with Gabby featuring, um, I wanted her to re-record some guitars and piano and just make it more of a collaboration rather than just putting her voice on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was all done over here.
Nice. Because Gabriella Aplin, she's been described as having a kind of sweet and sugary voice. So would it be fair to say she just added kind
Mm.
of like the icing on the cake?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah.
That's very nice. Gabriella Aplin, I remember she was famous for her Frankie Goes to Hollywood cover of Power of Love, which featured in a
Mm.
department store commercial. Would TV or film like soundtracks be something you would be looking at in the future as well?
I mean, I think it's something that every artist is always um, looking for. It's not something that you can plan. It's always just kind of like, you can have a publishing company that, pitches you for certain things, but really you've got to wait for the production company or movie director to like find you or find the song that fits the scene, and like those kind of syncs, they pay really well and they fund a lot of artists, um certain times in their careers, and so I think it's always something that I'm always keen
Yeah,
for.
that's great because if the opportunity arises, then it's something that you can think about.
Yeah, totally.
Great. And Ghost in My Machine, is there a music video to accompany this release? I know I've seen the lyric video, which is nice.
Yeah, we because we both live on like the other side of the world from each other. We both filmed. She lives on a she like lives out, I think it's in Glastonbury or somewhere outside of Glastonbury. So she's got access to lovely rolling hills and like lots of farm kind of scenery. And my mum has a property in Victoria in Australia that has like similar kind of vibes. And so we both shot like our own music videos and then kind of cut it together. We haven't released the full thing yet. I think it's just been like little snippets here and there for like reels and stuff like that.
I will look forward to seeing that when the time's
Yeah.
due. And I understand because Gabrielle, she was is a West Country a girl, and she's always, been loyal to where she's from, the southwest of UK.
Hmm.
And have you found like, green pastures, fields, countryside have inspired like your songwriting?
I mean, I guess because like a lot of the songs were written, um, we wrote Tell Her in Bath. Um, and well, it was actually like 20 minutes or like half an hour outside of Bath. Can't remember what the town was called, but it was just stunning, like the drive out to the studio. And so I guess, yeah, like definitely I must have been inspired by the scenery there for sure.
That's great to hear. And you released an album called Hi, It's Nice to Meet Me. I like how you've turned that around. How is that still being received at present?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten so many messages from people who are connecting with it and people who are relating to the stories and narrative of still exploring and discovering really big parts of yourself later in life that some people would have found out about themselves in their teens. So it's really nice and it's still, yeah, it's still really connecting.
And as I said on the start of the interview, you're literally on the road performing,
Yeah.
across the UK in towns and cities. How's that going? And I believe you're heading over to Northern Europe a bit later on.
Yeah, so we're on tour with Spacey Jane and we've done 4 shows so far and we've got London tomorrow night. And then yeah, then we start heading into Europe and we've got like another 10 shows to do.
Hmm,
So lots to look forward to.
right. And would you say this is one of the highlights of your year so far?
I mean, it's been a massive year. I released my album earlier this year as well, and we were overseas, not over here, not too long ago as well. But yeah, there's been lots of different highlights, but so far, like this tour has been really, really great, and the crowds are just so welcoming and so warm, and it's always a pleasure to come over here and play
Yeah,
gigs.
fantastic. And the year's not over just yet because you are rounding off the year at the Handpick Festival and Spilt Milk
Yes.
Festival in Australia, which I understand is a good platform to perform at.
Yeah, I think it's spilt milk especially is really hard to get into, especially as an up and coming artist with, that isn't established. And so that's going to be a really big opportunity for the end of the year. I'm
Hmm,
really excited for that
yeah,
one.
that's great. And performing, touring, being an emerging artist, do you think it's really hard for, indie artists to establish themselves, when you see like the climate of grassroots venues, they're struggling and closing down?
Yeah, I think I was doing an interview before where I was just stressing how important it is to play every and any gig you can. And I think with social media today and how accessible everything is on there and how it's so easy just to upload, a cover of a song or upload an original and have like such a wider reach than you would if you were playing, the local town open mic. But the 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 lesson that you learn with playing live is you actually that is the craft, like that is the muscle that needs to be um worked and grown, and like that's the thing that gets you a lasting career. So you know I think with with small live venues struggling. It is such a shame, and that's why I always stress for people to go out and support live music, support local music, because you know there could be the next David Bowie down the road and you wouldn't know because no one's going to support. So yeah, yeah, that's the thing I always stress is just go support live music as much as you can so those places don't close down.
That's a good answer, and it's important that people talk about it. Just
Yeah.
keep talking about it to raise awareness on the issue.
Mm,
And
mm.
where's best for people to follow you on social media just to see where you're gigging at and check for future dates and releases?
Definitely Instagram is probably the main platform. I've got all of the other ones, but that's where everything is kind of up first. Yeah.
Lovely. And I think that's everything I wanted to ask you today. Mia Wray, special guest on today's show, has a new single out with Gabriella Aplin called Ghost in My Machine. Best of luck with this single and the rest of your tour.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Danny.
Great to have you on board. Ta-ra now.
Awesome.
Take care.
Thank you.